Thank you for joining me. Today we are going to be using the Positive Sex Affirmations deck. I do have a little bit of a frog in my throat, so bear with me while I clear my throat. So we're going to be doing Y141, 142, and 143. These can be read together or separately, so we're going to read them together so you can kind of get some of the vibration and energy from them. So we'll start at the beginning. Also, in between each one, I'll be giving you, these actually contain the adults only dice. And so those are going to be something you should focus on that has to do with sexuality and something that you should remember that has to do with sexuality. So let's go ahead and get started. These cards here are the zodiac cards. We are reading about or for an Aries, Taurus, okay. And then over here we have some just characteristics of people. This person could be a social media addict, so it could be somebody that is on social media a lot, and they are quite slender, and they could be a Capricorn as well. So lots of pieces of information here. This could just be used as something for you if you're like, oh, I don't know if this reading is for me. This reading is going to be about affirmations that you should basically be using when you're working on starting to date. So if you are someone who's single, this could also be one that really resonates with you as well. All right, so repeat this while you take your main profile picture. So while you're wanting to date, I am ready to give and receive love. So for a lot of you who are doing this, I feel that you're wanting a loving relationship. You want a sexual relationship that is loving as well. So what you're going to want to do is when you're ready to take that profile picture, you're just going to repeat this to yourself. I'm ready to give and receive love. I'm ready to give and receive love. Some of you that energy is kind of stuck in your stomach, you may feel yourself kind of like holding in the energy. You're going to want to just take a deep breath. I am ready to give and receive love. You're just going to repeat that to yourself while you are taking that main profile picture. That profile picture that everybody's going to be able to see and kind of get the vibe and the energy from is a really like big way for you to introduce yourself. So when we see pictures of people, we can also often see like kind of like what's in their mind because the eyes are the window to the soul. So if you have a picture where, your soul is thinking, I'm ready to give and receive love, it will be a lot easier to attract that type of attention and find that type of person who wants the same connection that you do as well. So while you're taking that picture, repeat that. So then when you go to look at your messages that you get on these dating apps, before you open their first message, remember this. Nothing I do will ever mean I deserve to be mistreated. So I feel that for some of you, you're looking at this connection and in the past, or this like opportunity to find a connection, and in the past, you haven't had very strong boundaries. And so when you were mistreated, you didn't always walk away right away when you noticed the mistreatment. Sometimes you give a little bit too much leeway to the person. You're not standing up for yourself quick enough where you're just like, no, I do not deserve to be treated that way. And only you can really discern what it means for you to be mistreated. What does your heart, soul, mind, body tell you that you need these things? It's going to be different for everybody. Not everybody needs the same thing. So repeat this when you save their number. When you finally get to the point where you're saving their number, repeat this. It fell on the floor. I deserve really good sex. I think it's interesting to see how these line up about what you deserve. For a lot of you that are seeing this, that are like kind of connecting with these attributes here, I feel that you've been looking for a sexual, loving relationship for a long time. And I do believe that once you start saying, this is what I deserve, this is what I deserve, that kind of matches up with boundaries as well. So it's like, I deserve really good sex. So then you have to determine, what does that mean to you? Does that mean the person's really attentive? Does that mean the person, um, communicates really well? Does that mean they cuddle with you? What does really good sex look like to you? It is something that is going to be individualized. So you're really going to want to check in with yourself to make sure that you know that you're getting what you want. So when you save their number into your phone, say to yourself, I deserve really good sex. Even if you say it just under your breath, even if you say it to the person, they might know. All right, so thank you so much. Let's do this. Don't forget. I feel that this one really will fit with this. I don't know. So we have don't forget. Don't forget to masturbate. I feel that sometimes when people are dating or they're looking on a profile and they're trying to find someone, sometimes they don't take care of themselves sexually. And then you meet that other person and you're like just putting way too much pressure on the connection, and you don't necessarily think as straight as you would as if you just masturbated before you went on the date. So let's get the next set here. I'm just going to shuffle everything. All right, so this next card, you may like connect with it more if you are someone with blonde hair. You or the person really likes to play video games. Let's get one of these pink ones here. And you or the person may be adopted. Okay, let's get the zodiac signs. So you or they may be a Leo or a Pisces. So I'll set those there. All right, so now focus on the little square number 1. Repeat this while you take your photos. So while you are taking the photos that you are putting in your dating profile, repeat this information. I am lovable. This really fits with that first part of the reading that was talking about that you're wanting a loving connection. And I feel that that's something really important for you to keep in mind, especially while you're taking your photos. So don't look at the photos saying to yourself, oh, I wish I had this, or I wish this was a little bit different, or, basically finding flaws with yourself. While you're taking those pictures, find those places and areas where you're like, wow, I am lovable because of this thing, as opposed to saying what is normally happening when you're taking your photos is you're looking at them with um like a really negative viewpoint. That's just something that you saying I am lovable, especially if you're saying I am ready for love. I think that's what it was saying up there. I am ready for love. You have to know you are lovable. You are able to be loved because you are. Card number 2, keep this in mind when you talk to the person. So this is somebody who, this is actually a collective them, I feel. When you look at the group of people, however they identify, when you talk to them, remember, I am attractive to love because I am love. That's what I'm saying. You want a love relationship, and I feel that a little bit you've become kind of disheartened about the idea that other people aren't looking for love too. But they are. There are other people who are looking for love. And keep that in mind, because you want a specific, like, loving type of relationship that does have a sexual aspect to it. But then when you get on the dating app, you're saying to yourself, oh, everybody's just here for sex. Sex and love can be something that coexist. So remember that it's okay for you to go into the whole situation with the mindset of looking for love as well. So repeat this when you share something personal. So when you feel safe and comfortable and you feel like it's time to share something personal with them, remember there is no shame in my sexuality. So whatever you're choosing to share with this person, by the time you're getting to like this sexual energy, you need to remember that there is no shame. It is okay for you to want the sexual aspect of it. For some of you, I feel that you may have been raised in a situation where it was like, you know, you have to have one partner and sex is like this, and there was just a lot of messages that you got. But I definitely feel that for a lot of you, knowing that there is no shame in sexuality is really going to help you go in the right direction for what you're looking for. So then focus on this. Focus on the fact that right now you're single and you do not have to like commit to any of these people. Okay. Like, as you're talking to people, don't say, oh, well, this guy's really nice. I'm going to give this, or this girl's really nice, or this person's really nice. I'm going to give them all my focus, all my attention. You don't want to do that, especially where you are right now. In your energy, I don't feel that you have connected with anybody enough to be like, I'm in a committed relationship. So don't make a commitment to someone until you both are like putting some energy and effort and commitment into the connection. Make sure that you're not going right into it and being the one who is always free, always available, always ready for a date because you feel like, oh, I really like this person. Like you got to give some space to it as well. So we're going to work on the third one here. Just like to give us a shuffle. So this is for either an Aries or Gemini. So you or they may be one of those signs. And then we're gonna do two of these pink ones. So you may be very logical. Also, they may play sports or you may play sports. And then we have the initials of B, V, or L. Now, because we're talking about, oh, look, the sun is starting to shine into our little thing here. It's okay, it's a beautiful morning. Okay, so as we're looking at this, oh, because of the B, V, or L, I would also say that that could potentially be their username on whatever app you're looking at. So that may, I feel that that is something that you will want to pay attention to as well. Okay, before you open your dating app, you're going to want to say this positive sexual affirmation before you even open the app. I only have sex when I want to have sex. That's a very important differentiation in this whole situation. Just because you have a like sexual con just because you have a sexual conversation with someone does not mean that whatever you talked about, they are owed when you get together. Keep that in mind. That you're able to withdraw consent. Consent is not a one and done deal. Sometimes you can be up for something, the next time maybe you are having a headache or you just are sad or you just don't want to. Only have sex when you want to have sex. So repeat that when you open your app. You don't want to have a sexual relationship with someone so that they'll stay or so that they'll find you interesting. Like you specifically, if you are somebody who follows this, now there are some people who actually, even when you are really like, oh, I want to have this kind of sex and that kind of sex, they're only doing it when they want to. That's the only time that consent will really allow you to have that sex. It's when you want to. So journal about this. This is something that if you're really working on your sexuality and finding somebody, you need to journal about this. This one popped over. So this came up in that second part of the reading as well. Journal about that. What does good sex look like for you? I feel that if you are really drawn to this and you kind of fit into this, you have not made a determination of what good sex looks like for you. So you don't really know what to expect. That could be because you haven't had a sexual relationship before for some of you, but figure out what good sex means to you. And then don't forget how this makes you feel. Now, what this means is I'm going to show you this card that just fell on the floor. And when you see this, I want you to think about how you feel when you see it. And remember this feeling, okay? Sex feels great, and I like it. Sex feels great, and I like it. For some of you, I feel like you are healing from some past sexual trauma, and that's why this is kind of a theme throughout these cards. But I do feel that you are doing a great job. You're really working on healing, and I see that really benefiting you when it comes to these sexual relationships. So keep on going, keep on giving yourself affirmations and experiencing that sexual growth. Thank you for trusting me to read for you.